if, perhaps we can, nope. Let's just get, everyone's getting instruments. Hang on a second. Okay. Semi-circle.
And I had this set up beforehand.
Samwise.
Cool. So what we're going to do is, if you guys have questions for these fine people, if you want to grab that, start thinking about it right now, and then we're going to send a volunteer out into the audience. If you want to just raise your hand, they'll come to you with the mic, then you can ask a question, and then someone on the stage will give you a funny and evasive answer. So I'll start off. I have a question for you guys. You vlog your lives every single day. What day are you up to now?
1042. This is 1042. Today's this one.
Yeah.
Today's day 1043.
Wow. Without ever having missed a day. So congratulations on that. That's really. Thank you. What is that like? Can you talk a little bit about what vlogging all of your life is about?
You get used to it really quickly. I remember it, actually, he's here right now. So in November of 2010, Shay Carl and Weezy Waiter both came up to Toronto. And we talked about, like, I was very insecure as a YouTuber, and Craig was just killing it at the time. And still is. But I remember we had a lot of conversations because Shay was vlogging every day. Craig was putting up a video 5 days a week. And I had been having such a crazy year and not documenting it. Like, I remember thinking about the second half of 2010. I've gone to Hawaii, I've gone to LA, I filmed on the sets of Lost, I went to VidCon, and it was amazing. And I have no proof of any of this. And I have memories, and they're great, but those are going to fade. And I didn't even really take all that many pictures. And both Shay and Craig said to me, the types of videos that I was making was very performance-based and entertainment-based, and my personality wasn't coming through in my videos at all. People weren't getting to know me through my videos, and they said, if you share your personality and share who you are and share your thoughts, people are going to connect to that. And so it was based off of that week that we hung out. December, I went and bought a small little camera, and I started January 1st, 2011 at Tim Deegan's house.
That camera was actually the first camera that Corey ever bought. He'd only filmed his videos either with other people's cameras or his webcam. And that was his first, as a YouTuber, he bought a first camera then.
I went from 2006 to 2011 without owning a camera. And somehow I got like 200,000 subscribers, like not owning anything other than a webcam. And so then I bought the little CyberShot, and then as a filmmaker, I was really frustrated. That's what everybody was using, and I was frustrated. I'm like, I can't zoom, I can't focus, the audio sucks, it's not 1080p, and just everything about the camera made me really irritated. And so I was like, screw what everybody else is doing, I'm going to switch to a digital SLR. And so we started the company, January 1st, 2011, and the vlogs were weekly at first. We filmed every day. But I figured I'm not popular enough to handle, have a second channel. No one cares. So if I upload one video a week, maybe people will watch that. And then a couple months later, we got contacted by Google to shoot a documentary. And I remember the thought being, we're going to go to Google, we're going to vlog there every day. There's no way we can upload one video of 7 days at Google. That video is going to be like 2 hours long. And people won't watch it all the way through, and they're going to miss all kinds of stuff because nobody wants to watch a 2-hour video. So we decided, we had gone through 20 weeks of vlogging every day. And it was like, let's switch to daily, just for the duration of Google. And when we get back, we'll switch back to weekly. And we went to Google. Some of the people are here. Sid's here, right? Yeah, there you are, Sid. Great, I'm happy you're here. Is Jimmy here? I don't think he can make it, actually. He's coming to other things, just not this one in particular. Shannon. People are, yep, she's right there. Hello. And yeah, so we switched to daily. And never looked back. Do you have any questions out there?
What's it like sitting in a theater full of people watching your videos, whereas usually you don't get to see the people's reactions right away because they're behind a computer screen?
Amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
it's kind of strange because, like, I don't know about you guys, but, like, I don't really go back and watch the videos that we made all that often, you know what I mean? So sitting there watching these videos, I'm like, oh yeah, we did good on that. I got myself on the back of that one. That was my shot. Like, it's just like stuff like that. Like, I was like pretty impressed with some of the things we've done. Like, oh yeah, I forgot about that one. And no, it's cool.
To be honest, like, with every video, if I was, like, helping make it, I would, like, every time I see him, like, oh, I shot that shot, or I set up that, or that's my hand doing whatever. Like,
It's so funny because, like, actually, a lot of the videos, it's like more than one person shot it. Like, you know, like one of us set this up, or one of us set that up. I mean, like, you know, normally we have like certain people shooting, but sometimes it's like all hands on deck, and it's kind of cool to see, like, it's a kind of eclectic thing.
I think the best thing is the whole time when you're prepping the video and you're writing it, you're like, I think this is funny. But you never know. You never know if it's actually funny because you always think it's funny because it's your own. And you show someone else and they're like, oh yeah, that's funny. And you're like, yeah, okay, it's good. And then you put it up and there's no feedback, right? There's comments, but you don't see the laughter.
Here.
And so when you're here, you don't hear the laughter.
And also it comes in, you know, as a trickle, like, you know, some of those lightsaber fights, over the course of years, they have hundreds of thousands of views. And I've read, you know, we read all the comments. And it has a couple hundred comments, which is great. But I only, you know, read a handful at a time. Like, you know, the day goes up, it, you know, got a couple dozen comments, and we read it. And that's it. And a lot of times it's me in my bed reading them on my phone before going to sleep, naked. You know?
Why you look directly at me? Like, naked.
I wanted you to know.
Of course.
You already knew.
Another question? Up there?
First off, I want to say thank you very much for putting on Buffer Festival. I know you guys are all doing amazing. And the main ApprenticeA with a capital A channel, do you know it's called Corey Vidal now?
Yes. So the reason that is because Google is really, really obsessed with Google+. And the YouTube comments switched over the other day, right? So everything is going Google+, and it's really cool to hate it and make fun of it and be like, it's stupid. But I've always been a huge suck-up. And being a suck-up to companies has made ApprenticeA more successful in the long run. Because we got the Google documentary because of 5 years of sucking up to Google. So when Google Plus came out, in our vlogs, we decided January 1st of 2012, we're going to put Google Plus as one of the 4 comments at the end of the day. We're going to get on the Google Plus train, we're going to push it, we're going to ride it, and, you know, if we're going to do it, let's go all out. And so they've added the new verification check mark. And somebody at YouTube emailed me and was like, hey, we want to give you the check mark. And I was like, great. And they're like, you need to connect your YouTube channel to your Gmail and Google Plus account. And I was like, great. So we're verified. But I was also very aware that the main channel is no longer the main channel. The vlog channel is the main channel. We're putting up videos every day, and that's what people are watching, and that's where our heart and soul is, that's where our caring is, that's where the community is. In my channel, you know, we'll put our productions there, but, you know, we upload there less than once a month. So we have, like, a Joel channel, a Sean, Sam, Tiff, Corrado, Saskia, and we all have channels, and then that's my channel. And then ApprenticeA, what we always say is ApprenticeA with a capital A is the name of the company, and ApprenticeEH is the name of this group of people.
Another question?
Hi guys.
Hi.
Where do you guys see yourselves in the next few years?
Do you want me to answer? I've been talking too much, and I'm like, I gotta hand away the mic. Well, so we want Buffer Festival to be annual in Toronto every year. And that's already going to happen. Next year we're going to have it a little bit earlier because we just want to get before the time change. Because we almost lost an hour of sunlight at the end, which kind of bummed me out. So probably mid to late October. We don't want to be too close to Tiff. Be a little bit warmer, you know. Well, fall, I think fall's a really good time to do it. So we want to do Buffer Festival every year. A lot of people have been asking, what's going on with Vlogumentary? What's going on with Vlogumentary? And it's because we've been focusing on Buffer Festival, and now that Buffer Festival's over, we are going to get back to focusing on Vlogumentary. And, you know, this ends on Sunday, and then we can breathe. But looking at down the road, you know, I've done a lot of media and PR this week, more so than I ever have in the rest of my life combined. And that's a question that I've been getting a lot. And they're like, you know, where do you want to go next? And I'm like, you don't understand YouTube. We are where we want to be. We're doing it right now. You know, being YouTubers, putting up vlogs. You know, us as a business, people are very confused about how we make money. It's like, how the heck do they support that house? But we have a lot of different things. Like, we have the daily vlog, we have the main channel, which still gets views every day because I have these old dance videos, these old Star Wars acapella. And we want to have Buffer Festival and Vlogumentary, and we have some merch. Our hoodies just went on sale again a couple of days ago. We got those ready in time. And literally just keep doing that. Doing what we're doing. There is no, well, when we're big, then we're going to go make movies. No, we are, I already feel big. And we're already making a movie, but it's a YouTube movie. And that's where we want to be. We're doing it.
Right over here. Question, right there. This gentleman. In the front. Yeah, we haven't got anybody up there.
This is kind of on the same line of the last one, but I didn't want it as specific to you guys, no offense, but YouTube from 6 years ago is totally different from YouTube now. If you were to go 6 years from now, how do you see YouTube, and is that how you would like it to be?
I'm sorry. I have noticed that as I work more with YouTubers, that a lot of them talk about like a golden age of YouTube, and it's like some past, back in the day we didn't have this and this was so much better, and the community was stronger. I don't really know that because I haven't been here that long, so I'm not sure why you gave the mic to me. But
Put you on the spot.
I think that the community aspect of YouTube will never change. It may evolve a bit because YouTube is growing and it's becoming like a source of entertainment outside of just like we are all friends and we want to make videos together. But I do think that, you know, monetization will change. You know, the way that someone becomes a YouTuber might change, but like the core idea of like, you know, being friends and making videos together, I don't think that's going to change. It might become more like corporate because that's what happens when a business does well, but I don't really plan on changing the way we make videos. I can't speak for the rest of YouTube. Anybody?
I think that you
I'm going to throw to you. I'm going to hype you up. So, because I can say things for Tim that he can't say himself. So Tim used to work on television at Much Music. And finally, we're with Canadians who know that. Everyone's like, because we tell people and they're like, oh yeah, so it's the Canadian MTV. There is a Canadian MTV, but it's like the American MTV. But Canadian. Okay, you know Carson Daly? And you were on YouTube way before we met.
Yeah.
So that's my throw to you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I'm gonna answer the question, but yes, we were on. YouTube is how we met. And anyways, the question was the future of YouTube, right? I think that. Well, what were you saying about like being more corporate? I think it's obviously going to move more corporate because there's going to be more corporations on YouTube. But at the same time, Google's always kind of been about the small guy, the little guy, giving them like, you know, the best phone for the cheapest price, giving them like amazing internet if you live in like, you know, where?
It's just the Google Fiber.
Yeah, where?
St. Louis.
Town. Kansas. Man, I'm moving to Kansas.
It's in like 3 cities now.
Yeah. Toronto's next. But yeah, no, I think that what's going to happen is like you're seeing more and more like with television and television companies and corporations and networks, they all have like, hey, go on our website and watch this show. No one's going to do that. No one's going to go on your website and watch a show that's never going to load. You have to watch 3 commercials before watching it. Like they're just going to go to YouTube and they're going to find it there. And slowly, these networks are actually starting to move online. I know that the W Network here in Canada, they now do stuff on YouTube. They don't really push their own website anymore. CTV still has their own website. They sell their own shows. But I guarantee, just a matter of time before all of these networks then have a channel online as well on YouTube rather than on their own website, so they can really kind of facilitate.
That reminds me of a really awkward panel I did back in 2010 before the vlogs. I spoke in Ottawa at the Canadian Film and Television Producers Association. Super boring. And so I was on this panel that opened it up, and right before I went up, someone from CTV got up, and the 2010 Olympics had just happened. And CTV had the exclusive on the Olympics, and they said, "We are really proud that with our marketing dollars and with our Canadian community and blah, 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 that CTV.ca surpassed 1 million views last month." And so then I follow that person, and they're like, "This is Corey Vidal with 50 million views on YouTube." And I was like, "Yeah, so our marketing budget, it's me, hi, the budget was $0, and I got 4.5 million views last month." And it was, afterwards, there was this really nice 50-50 of like people congratulating me, like, "Yeah, we needed to hear that," and people being like, "I hate you." Someone from the CRTC was very rude to me. He accused me of being a one-hit wonder, desperately clinging to fame. And I said, "Well, we'll see who has a job in 5 years."
Saskia, you have sort of been in charge of the vlog in a lot of ways for the last however long. Can you talk a little bit about what that is like, being in charge of how, choosing what to show, what not to show, and also the interaction with the community and what that has meant to you?
It takes a lot of work. I'm the main editor, but then I do get a lot of help from Sam and Rihanna, and it's very interesting. I've never mostly just Rihanna now, but now it was you, and now it's Rihanna. Rihanna's editing all this weekend, so thank her for that. It's really interesting. I've never done any editing before this. I didn't know how to use any sort of editing program. I use my computer to check my email. That is it. So it was very different than what I imagined what I would be doing. But it's really cool because I do get a lot of interaction. I read all of your comments all the time. And it's interesting to see feedback from all of you. Sometimes I end up replying as well. And it's just, I don't know, it's weird. Because it takes up a lot of time, and it's just, you never really know how to explain it to people. Because everybody's always like, "So what do you do?" Like, well, I edit videos for YouTube that go up every day, and it's footage of our lives. So I guess it's like a diary, but not really, I don't know. Just watch. I don't know.
I was going to ask you, can you share why and how Saskia got involved in ApprenticeA?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that. Corey dragged me into this ApprenticeA thing a while ago. He dragged me by my hair, kicking and screaming, because my hair was longer back then, so there was more of a grip. And so I was hanging around the ApprenticeA house more and more, and then it was once a week, then 3 times a week, then it was 7 days a week, and I would be going back to my apartment 3 times a month. And then I started doing some math, and I'm like, that's really expensive rent when you divide that by 3 days. It's like the most expensive hotel. And so then Saskia, who was at our apartment, was just like, where are you? And so I'm like, well, you could just come and hang out. And so she would show up, and then after a while she's like, oh, I can help. I'm just sitting on this couch doing nothing. And so I'm like, here's an editing program, here's some videos, figure it out. And she did. And then she took over all the vlogs. And then she's been doing it for like 700 and something days.
And I just want to say that, Saskia, actually let me start over. So I just want to say that Dutch people are like the hardest workers. Wow. Wow. All of them. All 3 girls on stage are coincidentally Dutch people from Niagara, which is where all the Dutch people are. So Saskia came to me at the end of 2011, and Shannon was transitioning out of the company because she was going back to school. And so Saskia said to me, I think I want to start editing the vlogs. And I said, no, you don't. I said, if you put yourself in a position where I rely on you, it's going to be very scary for you. Only make this commitment if you're sure. Because it's 7 days a week. We edit on Christmas. We edit on our birthdays. And she goes, I want to do it. And as time goes on, as Vlogumentary came, you know, Shake and I were trying to figure out, you know, what crew is going to do this, how, who are the right people, and can we make it look like it fits in a real theater. Like, as great as YouTube videos look, it needs to look better than a YouTube video, because we want it to play at Sundance. We want to get a nomination for an Academy Award. They're not going to take it if it looks like a YouTube video. It has to be lit a certain way. And so Saskia became the lighting and grid. And if you've seen any of the Vlogumentary footage, it's lit super well. And you didn't go to school for it. You know, like, we do a lot of training that we don't show in the vlogs. And actually in the vlogs, we go to this guy Gordon's place for 3 days. And Gordon showed Saskia and the rest of us how to light. And Saskia's like, I got this. And it looked great. And then if you've been watching the vlogs recently, Saskia and I, the two of us, went to LA. And we got to LA and I was like, so how weird is it that it's like, Corrado hasn't left you? You've left Corrado. And we're in LA making videos. And I thought that was really cool, so I just want to thank you for all of the amazing things you do.
You guys talked a little bit earlier about everyone kind of having their hands in everything. Sam, can you talk a little bit about what it's like to learn all sorts of new things? When you came onto the company, did you know how to do all the things you know how to do now, or what are the most fun and valuable things you've learned?
Learned a lot of things. When I came onto the company, I was actually in university for a history degree, which doesn't really have anything to do with the internet. So I didn't have any prior skills. Thankfully, I was, you know, a citizen of the internet beforehand, so I knew my way around it. But from day one, I was learning how to do things, and thankfully, I'm a pretty quick learner, so it wasn't too difficult. But I mean, it's actually funny. I kind of talked about this in the vlog when I said goodbye, but like, my job that I have now, my full-time job, which I'm not at right now, is so completely different from anything that I thought I would be doing, and it's because of ApprenticeA. I learned everything that I know, everything that I know and that I'm doing right now is because of this company. And I mean, that includes editing videos, recording audio, going online, search engine optimization, like Google copyright stuff, and there's just like so many things. And yeah, it is literally all because of this company.
If you have heard the Vlogumentary trailer, all of that audio was recorded by Samantha Fall. All of it.
So you can hear them.
So I'm going to ask you a question. What was it like? Who did you enjoy miking the most? And what was that experience like?
Oh, with miking, I got to put a lot of things down people's shirts, which is like both great and also super awkward. I don't know. I think the worst ones were like the guys that had a lot of chest hair, because I feel like I would have to navigate around it. And the best one, just a little patch, just there. Okay. I feel like the best one, I don't know, this is going to sound so creepy. Anyway, any person I say is going to sound super creepy, because I'm like, yeah.
But I know who you're going to say.
Yeah.
We all know who you're going to say.
I mean, like, John Green's pretty creepy.
What a dreamboat. Do we have more questions out there? In the hat, in the little knit cap. It's a toque. It's a toucan. Go ahead.
Yes, the official phrase is toque.
Still learning.
On a scale from 1 to pumpkin pie, how are you right now?
Thinking about Charles and Eileen.
Yeah, I'm so too.
I'm trying to think of a food to like navigate on that scale.
Tears. Tear pie. Yeah, I'm really ruining this right now.
Yeah, look, well, you could at least have said like a salty food or something. I'd say pumpkin pie.
Thanks, Joel.
I like the first time Joel speaks all day, he just says pumpkin pie. Another question? Next to the two.
So on behalf of me and everyone else, we just want to like thank you for being here and like how hardworking and dedicated all you guys are. So as a round of applause. I guess my question is, for each and every one of you, what has been one of the most challenging things you've come across in your YouTube career? And maybe tell us maybe a success that you're most proud of.
I think the most challenging for me, if I'm being really, really honest, is dealing with the drama in the household that we don't share. And that's like really, really candid to say, because that's not something that we talk about in the vlogs. And there's this interesting battle that Vlogumentary discusses, and I shared this in the vlog recently, is what's more important, being honest or being positive? And I would say that we are absolutely honest with the audience. But we also omit things. Does that make us less honest? I don't know, kind of. Because there's stuff going on, and sometimes when I'm being hyper and I'm being silly, I'm faking it. And that's a battle, because sometimes I don't know if that's the right decision. Sometimes I don't know it. Maybe I should turn on the camera and say, you know, Corrado and I disagree about this. Tim's ticking me off. Frickin' Sam, you know? It just apply that to everybody, right? And amongst people as well. Also people leaving and explaining that. Or like if we're focusing on Buffer Festival and people are asking about Vlogumentary, or focusing on Vlogumentary and people are asking about Nerdist, or we're focusing on Nerdist and people are saying, why don't you make videos on your main channel? What happened to the other 10 channels that you started? Where's Shannon, Jimmy, Ethan, Sid, you know? And it's like there's so much going on, and we can only share so much. Both because of time and because there are some things that we do keep to ourselves. And that's tough. That's tough for me to... I think every single person, except maybe with the exception of Joel and Sean, every other person, including Alex, on this, whatever we're on stage, has hated me. At some point.
You better get Joel and Sean in there, too.
They're just too nice, though. They're just the nicest guys. Craig hates me all the time. Oh, thank you. Anybody else? We can't go through everybody, but does anyone want to?
To go along with that, I think another hard thing is getting enough footage sometimes. Sometimes either people are just all angry at each other and nobody really wants to vlog anything, or we're just so swamped with work and we literally spend all day on computers, facing screens, not talking to each other, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, it's like we should probably film something.
I'm not in the latest vlog.
No.
The day before Buffer Festival, I was there working. And I'm literally not in the whole 10-minute vlog because I was just running around the whole time.
I was going to say two things. One thing about what Saskia was just saying, that like sometimes like working, I mean I haven't really been there all summer, so like, that's why I haven't been around. But like when we were there and like working away or whatever, like I mean it's kind of a couple times Corey and I've talked about it, is like one time like we'll just sit down and play video games, like man, like we haven't hung out in like months, but we've seen each other every day, and like sometimes like that's hard in the house when you're working and stuff like that, and that, like you don't actually get to hang out. But the other thing I find really hard about like you know YouTube and vlogging and just videos and things that are tough is view counts sometimes. Because sometimes you put up a video that you really think is like amazing, you put so much work into it, and then like why is it not getting views as fast as it should, or how come it's not getting as much views as last time? And it doesn't really matter, but like part of you cares. You know what I mean? It's really I don't know.
I would say, especially with daily vlogging. Actually, how many people here daily vlog or vlog? Like a lot of people? Yeah, about half. Yeah. The hardest thing for this YouTube vlog thing is to make a story that's sensible. So like every day you're like, okay, it's a new day. I have to somehow make a 5 to 10 minute story today. And the hardest part is knowing what to film to complete the story. Because you can't just film random snippets, because then if they don't connect, then it's just weird. So you have this weird montage of your day, and then it's not a story. But then at the end of the day, when it all comes together and you can see, the morning, the afternoon, the evening, or sometimes the evening, the late evening, and then the early morning, depending on the day, then that's like a good success, because then you can watch it and be like, this is a story of the day.
And I think because we're not just YouTubers and we're not just vloggers, but we have somewhat of a filmmaker's mentality. When I'm focused on the vlog, I get very obsessive, like, the vlog needs to have a beginning. And that scene shouldn't really be more than 1 or 2 minutes, because scenes that are 5 minutes are too long and it gets boring. It needs to, we need to switch to a new character. We need to switch to, a new location. And my least favorite vlogs are when it's 4 minutes of one person talking straight to the camera, then 4 minutes of another person talking straight to the camera, and it's over. And I think ApprenticeA is at its best, as we saw in the Day 1000 montage, when we're traveling and we're with people and you kind of see our day. But we don't always have the opportunity to do that. So it's like, if we forget to film a good night, we get super stressed about it. It's like, no one said good night last night? Are you kidding me? It's the vlog! Come on! And it is always on our minds. Like, we carry that camera like a purse, right? Like, I put on Instagram, it was like, here's my purse, and it was the camera.
More like a baby, I'd say.
Kind of like a baby that can't take care of itself. Yeah.
You guys abuse that baby. You knocked that camera around quite a bit.
And so it can always, it can sometimes be stressful, but it's always worth it. Because I already forget the 6 months that I was in America working on Vlogumentary. I forget most of it. We have Vlog TV in our kitchen looping all of our vlogs, because while we were working on Vlogumentary, I actually didn't watch the vlogs. So I'm literally in the kitchen making food, and I'm like, when did you guys go get Buzz Lightyear hoodies? And they're like, oh, and we did blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I've never seen this. So if there's anybody here who's seen every vlog, you've seen more of our videos than we have. Because I don't think any of us have seen all of them. And it's so weird when people are like, I have seen every vlog.
You can whisper it just like that.
I'm like, wow.
Great, we have time for a couple more questions if you guys have questions still. I'm going to let the volunteer choose somebody. How about that, as opposed to doing... No pressure.
Hi there, just 2 quick questions. Corrado, how do you take your coffee?
That's actually a surprisingly common question. Just some cream, pretty much. I'm just really boring, people, just 2 cream. People always ask me that, and I find it the strangest question, but it's like a mystery.
Well, you're a coffee connoisseur.
I know. Well, actually, to be a real coffee connoisseur, I would have to have it black. So I am a fake coffee connoisseur.
The real question, though, is, are your beans homemade, roasted? Did you grind them yourself? Did you go out and get the coffee? Because he does all of these things. There's more coffee cooking devices in my kitchen than...
Tim Hortons is a sponsor.
No, it's one of your favorites, though. I feel like Corrado does every sort of coffee. Everything.
I do what I do.
And can you remember the first video you've ever watched on YouTube?
Oh, I know this. Can I answer this?
Go right ahead.
It was a Smosh video. In the 7th grade.
I know my answer. Philly D, 2006. Yeah, back when he was living in Virginia. Yeah. No, Georgia. He was living in Georgia way back, 2006. And I discovered him, and I was like, this guy makes multiple videos? And I went and probably sat there and watched 10 videos back to back, and then I subscribed to him. And then I watched every video as it came out.
Am I allowed to answer? Of course. Does anybody remember the wine gum experiment?
Yeah.
That was my first video.
Okay, so sorry guys, we're gonna do just one more quick question, quick answers. Corey, I'm looking at you. One more quick question, so if you have a last question, right here.
I got a question. Obviously you guys come from different backgrounds. Corrado, you were a butcher, Tim, you were on a bunch of music, Alex, you did Wizard Rock. At what point did you guys really think, or if you have thought, I'm successful now, this is kind of where I want to be?
For me specifically, I gotta make this quick, crap. Yeah, this is my festival, you know? I got half an hour. So I don't like the attitude that you need to keep updating your goals. I think that can make you work harder, but I don't like people that once they get what they want something else. I think it's a disappointing way to live, because then you are in a constant state of want. So I wanted a thing, and I've updated it once. So from 2000 and, well, it kind of evolved, but from being in high school I wanted to be a video maker. And that became YouTube, and then so it kind of updated too, and this is still the first one. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be like those guys. I want to be like Charles Trippy. Shay Carl has 30,000 subscribers. If I had 30,000 subscribers, I would just be happy forever. I'd be done. That was in 2008. I remember checking his stat, and I remember thinking that Philip DeFranco has 50,000 subscribers. Wow. What's it at like now, 10 million? But I wanted to be a YouTuber. When I got what I wanted, in 2008, the Star Wars acapella video got featured, and I was able to quit my job and be a YouTuber full time. 2009 and 10, I got to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I got to travel. I went to LA a bunch. I met a lot of incredible people. And I would travel and make videos, and then I would fly home. And I would go home, and I would return to an empty apartment. And when I was traveling, amazing. When I was making videos, amazing. And then I would go home and be alone. And I found that disappointing and frustrating. And I remember telling my friends, like, man, LA is crazy, like, YouTube's crazy, all this stuff that's happening, it's crazy. And they weren't experiencing it with me. So I updated my goal once. I went from, I want to be a YouTuber, to, I want to be a YouTuber with my friends. And we have it. And I couldn't ask for anything more.
I think that's the heart and soul of ApprenticeA right there. Ladies and gentlemen, ApprenticeA. We have one more thing for you guys.
We have a video before we do. So we are leaving this. We are going directly to the Metro Toronto Convention Center, which is walking distance, and we're immediately having our meetup. So if you want to talk, hang out, we can chat. It's not going to be super quick. Like, well, we can be casual. You know, take pictures, just ask questions, whatever. That's happening in the Metro Toronto Convention Center. So come hang out with us there. Do you want to?
It's your movie.
Okay. It would be offensive to throw a film festival and not show you guys more vlogumentary footage. So we put together some footage that we know for sure is not going to make it into the movie.